Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. A special meeting of the Silver Spring City Council will be conducted at noon Friday in the City Council Chambers, 201 North Davis Street. The purpose of the special meeting is to conduct a public hearing regarding a proposed tax increase. The proposed tax increase is not an increase in the tax rate, which will remain at 44 cents per $100 of property value. However, property values in the city have increased in 2016, and additional revenues will be received from the higher values. The hearing is required by law due to the increase in revenue created by the higher values.
Everybody find somebody, get back to back. Here we go. Gorilla beats the man beats the gun beats gorilla. If you die, you die. 1, 2, 3. All right, if you lost, have a seat. If you lost, have a seat. If you won, get a partner. If you are out.
Dare to Dream is the Silver Springs Independent School District adopted program that began in 1996, but was adopted as part of a curriculum 3 years ago. Jeff Harris with Silver Springs Independent School District directs the program. Jeff explains the program.
How long have we been doing this?
Well, Dare to Dream here at Douglas, we've been doing it. This is our 3rd year to do it. We've actually been doing Dare to Dream here in Silver Springs since about 1996, off and on. But the school system adopted this as a part of our curriculum about 3 years ago. And really, Dare to Dream is for all the grades here from pre-K through 12th grade. But at Douglas, we use that 5th grade year to immerse our kids into the program by giving them a camp. And Doug, that's what we're doing today. The camp is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the week before school starts. We have about 130 Douglas students here, and we have about 90 high school counselors that are leading these kids. And basically what we're doing is we're teaching these kids that when school starts next week, they have a responsibility to be a leader on the campus. And so as we conclude the camp here in 3 days, the teachers will all come in the gym, and these 130 5th graders will stand up in front of their teachers, and they'll say, you can count on me this next year. From what I've learned at this camp, you can count on me to be a leader at Douglas this year.
Who all do you have helping you out there?
Oh, we have, as far as our leadership staff, almost every youth pastor in town has volunteered their week to help us. So we have Jason Dietz is here. We have, anyway, almost all the churches represented. Jonathan McGraw. And then we also have tremendous amounts of high school students. We have a lot of kids who are involved with extracurricular. We have our high school quarterbacks here. We have kids from the band who are here, kids from drill team. And it's amazing. Those kids are worn out just doing what they're doing right now, but they come over here and give 8 hours to these kids every day. So we have a great staff there.
Hopkins County Extension Agent Johanna Hicks almost always has a workshop or a training for something interesting and helpful for Hopkins County people. This week she has 2 community classes starting, and 4-H clubs will form starting September 1st. Let's hear from Johanna.
Of course, the thing that I'm most excited about is absolutely one of my favorite things to teach here in Hopkins County, and it's my Together in Texas Marriage Education Workshop. And it's not just for Hopkins County folks. If there are other people in your listening area, other counties, they are more than welcome to come.
Okay.
But this workshop is a free workshop, which you don't find very often anymore. But it is free, and it is called Together in Texas, TWO, Together in Texas. I do this workshop about 3 times every year, and engaged couples who attend the workshop will receive a certificate to save $60 when they apply for a marriage license.
And isn't that like most of the cost?
It is, because a marriage license in Hopkins County is $82. And so if they can save $60, that's a chunk of money that they can save. But it's not just for the money, it's for the information, the camaraderie. And, you know, I've had some couples that the guys come in, he'll sit down and he'll cross his arms and just kind of look like he's frustrated because he has to be there on a Saturday. And within the hour, the guys are interacting, they're laughing, they're having a great time. So it's a lot of fun. It isn't just me sitting in the front talking to them and lecturing, but it's a lot of couple interaction, some whole group interaction. There's some video involved in it. There's a little workbook, but it's not like a massive workbook. It's just kind of like fill in the blank. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I've had couples that have said how much they enjoyed it. And I actually have had some couples who have come back who wanted to take it again just as a refresher.
And is it all young couples?
No, actually it isn't. Of course, the young engaged couples who are getting married for the first time, those are the majority of the couples that come, but I've had some married couples that have come just because they want the information. I've had some couples who they're later in life and they're getting married. Maybe they're a widow or a widower. They're getting married again, and they just want to be sure that they get their wedding off or their marriage off on the right footing. And that's what it's all about. It's not about the wedding. It's about the marriage itself. And the things that we cover in the workshop are marriage expectations. That's one of my favorites because I always give the case where when I married, when I was growing up, my dad always carried out the trash. I mean, that was his job. He did that faithfully. Well, when we got married, I noticed that our trash kind of started getting full, and I thought, well, my husband's supposed to be taking this out. Okay. So that was an unspoken expectation that I had. Of course, now he does, and I do. We take turns, but a lot of times we bring expectations into a marriage without telling our spouse about it. And so that's a really fun session. We also talk about communication, how men and women communicate differently. Neither one is wrong, it's just different. And then, of course, a big one is conflict resolution. You know, I always tell the couples that no matter how strong your relationship is, there are going to be times when you're going to have conflict, which is healthy. You need to have good, healthy conflict, but it's all in how you handle that conflict that can make or break the situation. And then we talk about money management because that can be a source of conflict among couples. And so we talk about what money means to each one of the people in the couple, how they manage it, and if they use their strengths to manage the money. So that's a really good one. And then the final session is goal setting. What do you want your marriage to look like 5, 10, 15, 25 years down the road? So it's a really good workshop. Lunch is provided. We have wonderful refreshments. We'll start the morning at 8:30 with coffee and refreshments. We'll break for lunch, and then the workshop ends usually around 3:15 or 3:30. So it still gives the afternoon and evening for couples to do what they want to do, so it doesn't tie up their entire day.
Well, how long have you been teaching Together in Texas?
Oh, it's been several years. I probably started teaching it in about 2009. So probably 7 years.
And I think you have done it well because I have heard that you received a recognition.
I did. Yes, for the Texas Association of Extension, Family and Consumer Sciences, my workshop won first place, and it went on to national competition, and it won second place nationally. So I'm excited about that. I'll be traveling to Montana in September to receive that recognition. Great. But it's it's not because of me, it's because it is such a great program with such good results. And I just wish that more couples would take advantage of it. All they have to do is call my office. It's coming up this Saturday, August.
We're still in August.
We're still in August. August 20th. We're going to start at 8:30. We'll end around 3:30. It's free of charge, but I do need to know who's planning to come so I can have the correct materials and plenty of food.
Okay, very nice. Well, we'll keep spreading the word for you on that. And please accept our congratulations for the recognition that you're going to pick up out there. Is it right after the Labor Day weekend?
Yes, it's the week after Labor Day, so I'm excited about that.
There's something else that you have kind of ongoing that deals with diabetes.
Yes. I have two diabetes series that are going to be taking place on the same dates, just different times. Okay. One of them is Cooking Well with Diabetes. We haven't done this one in a while because the curriculum has been rewritten, and I actually serve on that rewrite committee, so I kind of have the first chance to use the new curriculum. And then the other one is Do Well, Be Well with Diabetes. Now, the Cooking Well with Diabetes session will take place in the afternoons, and the Do Well, Be Well with Diabetes series will take place in the evenings. I usually have it in the afternoon, but because a lot of people work outside the home, I want to offer it in the evening as well. It's going to start on Monday, August 22nd, so it's coming up just right away. And I do need to have a minimum of 5 people for the class to make. But the Cooking Well with Diabetes is a 4-session series. We'll talk about carbohydrate foods, making recipes with fat better for you. We'll talk about increasing fiber and reducing sodium. And then finally, we'll talk about celebrating sensibly with diabetes. So those are the 4 topics. It will be on Mondays and Thursdays starting next Monday.
With so much talk about diabetes and people that we know being diagnosed with it, still, it may not come home to each individual unless they personally experience it, and hopefully that they won't. But if you get a diagnosis with diabetes, you really must change your lifestyle.
That's right. And I've heard of so many people that just say, well, it'll go away, I'll be okay. But it's something that you don't need to have a case of denial about. It is something that can be managed, and that's the good news, but you do have to make an effort. And so the Cooking Well with Diabetes just kind of teaches us how to cook healthy meals and prepare healthy recipes.
Do you think it would hurt anybody to be on the diabetic type diet?
No, actually, I've had some people that have come just because they wanted the healthy eating information, which is fine. We welcome anyone. The Do Well, Be Well with Diabetes series is a little bit more in depth because it talks about managing your diabetes. What doctor's visits do you need? How often do you need them? What should your numbers be? How do you properly take a blood finger prick? It talks about the different medications. We talk about foods that are high and low in carbohydrates because that's a key to managing diabetes is your diet. We talk about even celebrating with diabetes. You can still have that piece of cake, but you need to trade it out for another carbohydrate food instead of having all of your carbohydrates stacked on top of the other. So both series are excellent, and if anybody's interested, I won't give the dates and the times and all, but the Cooking Well is in the afternoon at 1:30. The Do Well, Be Well is in the evening at 6, and I have the dates and the specific topics if anyone is interested. And those do start on Monday, August 22nd.
Sort of ongoing education series as part of your job.
Yes.
You wear many hats there at the Extension office.
I really do. Not only that, but we have Fall Festival that will be coming up in October, and now is the time for people to start thinking about their creative arts entries.
What about 4-H? Is that getting out?
Oh, 4-H. We will, yes, actually, I'm glad you brought that up because we will be starting re-enrollment for the new 4-H year later this month. The 4-H year goes from September 1st through August 31st. And so this is the time of year to be thinking about joining 4-H. We have a lot of opportunities for young people, grades 3 through 12. The cost is $20, but that is good for the entire year. And that allows them to participate in club meetings and different activities that we have throughout the year. We just finished a project tour day last Friday and had a wonderful time. Introduced some kids to some new businesses, and we did some outdoor cooking. So we had a really great time with those kids. But yes, this is the time to start re-enrolling. If anybody has any questions about our Hopkins County 4-H program, they can contact my office, and we'll be glad to get them the information.
So youngsters between age grades 3 through 8, did you say?
3 through 12, okay. All the way through high school.
From any of the Hopkins County schools?
Yes.
Are welcome to get involved in 4-H.
Absolutely, and homeschoolers as well. We do have some kids that are being homeschooled. They are welcome to join. We have 5 clubs here in Hopkins County, and my coworker and I both are in charge of the 4-H program here. But we have 2 clubs that meet here in Sulphur Springs. We have one that meets at Dyke, one at Arbela, and one at Miller Grove. Okay. One of the ones that meets here in Sulphur Springs is actually a school-based club that meets at the 3rd and 4th grade campus. And then the other one actually meets in our office. Okay. So we have representation pretty much the whole area of Hopkins County except Como-Picton. We'd love to get a club started in that area if anybody's interested in taking over.
Wonderful. Well, it's a busy time of year for all of you at the Extension office, so tell us who is on the staff there.
There are 2, well, there are actually 3 of us. I'm Johanna Hicks, and I'm the Extension Agent for Family and Consumer Sciences. Mario Villarino is my coworker, and he's our Ag and Natural Resources Agent. And then, of course, we could not do without our office manager, Barbara Sanders. She is a jewel. She keeps the place running. A lot of people will call asking for her before they'll ask for Mario or me, because they know that she's the lady that can find anything at the touch of a finger. So it is the 3 of us. We did have a 4-H agent at one time. And with the budget cuts that we went through back in 2010, a lot of counties lost their 4-H agents, and we happen to be one of those. But we still have a strong 4-H program. Actually, Foods and Nutrition is the #1 project, not only in Hopkins County, but statewide. So we have a very active Foods and Nutrition project. You don't have to have an animal to be in 4-H. That is a misconception that a lot of people have. About half or more of our kiddos don't even have an animal project that are in 4-H because they have other projects that they focus on. So it's a great organization.
But certainly there is that animal showing and learning how to take care of livestock. And I know you have to mention the parents because they're almost your right arm and the club leaders.
Absolutely. It's the parents that get the kids to the meetings and to the project meetings, to the contests, and they also help serve as leaders a lot of times. And so parents and volunteers are very important and very valuable to us. As a matter of fact, we will be recognizing our outstanding 4-H leader of the year at our banquet coming up in August. And we have several that have received it in past years, and they are still contributing. And we probably don't say it enough, but we really do appreciate those parents.
Thank you, Johanna Hicks, for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Cattle and horses on roadways create concerns for Hopkins County citizens as well as those driving through the county on one of the 3 state highways that crisscrosses the county. With almost everyone having a cell phone with them at all times, drivers have a much easier time reporting animals in or near the roadway as they journey. Communications officers at the Hopkins County Sheriff's Office field at least 10 calls per day regarding the Hoof on highway problem. Often the multiple calls are drivers reporting the same maverick-spirited animals. From the various calls, officers are able to ascertain through an increased variety of information the responsible party for the animal or animals. A deputy is then dispatched to the area where the animals are not confined away from the roadway. At the same time, dispatch begins to call those who are identified in the area as responsible parties for or owners of bovine and equine. It often takes more than one call to determine the responsible party. Communications officers told KSST News that specific areas of the county are more apt to have animals on roadways. State Highway 19 north and south, State Highway 154 south, and State Highway 11 east and west. The three main state highways through the county are the primary areas. With a lot of rain, specifically around Highway 11 west near the double bridges, cattle are more likely to stray from their home turf. At other times, the grass always seems greener on the other side, and cattle press against fences until they're freed from their confinement to leisurely graze on the side of the road. Sheep and goats are less likely to be found on roadways locally. Farm-to-market roads and county roads are not immune from the roving hooves. However, accidents and roving animals happen more often on the state highways due to higher speeds and less expectations of animals crossing the road. Drivers who wish to report cattle or horses in the highway should get a reference point for the location, then call 911. If the animals are on the roadside, again, get a reference point for the location, and then call 903-488-4040. That's the sheriff's office. Here's Don with sports.
At the end of Wildcats football practice Monday night, several athletes faced discipline from head football coach Greg Owens. Their transgression was missing Saturday's morning practice. The consequences were dreaded down and ups. They faced a couple of sets of 25 and then had to perform one for each yard line of the 100-yard multi-purpose building field, all the way down and back. Meanwhile, another player was seen running laps around the field. He's trying to rejoin the team after quitting. His sentence is 30 miles of running, done 2 miles a day for 15 days. Coach Owens says it's all about accountability. He says we are all held responsible in everyday life, so the players are learning a life lesson. Coach Owens says when players miss practice, they don't know what to do, and that hurts the entire team. He says the rules are the same for superstars or for third-string players. Lady Cats volleyball coach Justin Manis says it was good to see a lot of different teams in 2 days at a Garland tournament last Friday and Saturday. The Lady Cats won 4 matches and lost 3 and claimed first place in the consolation bracket. Coach Manis says the Lady Cats didn't seem to find their footing on Friday as they lost to Forney and to a very athletic team from Richardson-Berkner. The Lady Cats downed North Garland. Coach Manis says the team began to find their way on Saturday after an early morning loss to a good Mesquite team. The Lady Cats finished by winning 3 straight matches, defeating Dallas Skyline, Garland Lakeview Centennial, and Carrollton R.L. Turner in the consolation final. Coach Manis was especially pleased with that win over Lakeview Centennial. In both the second and third sets, the Lady Cats trailed 24-19 and then came from behind to win 26-24. He says the team fought and didn't give up. Coach Manis says focus in practice will be on cleaning up and ironing out some small errors that are being made. Concern areas include defense and coverage. He says the team seems to have bought into his new, faster-paced offense. The Lady Cats will play 2 matches Tuesday night at 6 p.m. and then at around 7 p.m. at John Tyler. They will play the host school and Kilgore. JV and freshman teams will also be in action at the same times. The Lady Cats are 5-4 for the season, and Coach Manis is hoping his team begins to peak at around district time. The Wildcats team tennis squad, 1-1 so far this season, played 2 matches on Tuesday. They traveled to Tyler, where they played Jacksonville and then John Tyler. At least the weather was a little cooler for the grueling day of matches, plus the competition was really tough. The road work will continue later this week as the Wildcats play at Terrell Thursday at 4 p.m.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.
For this round, no talking. You got to work with eye contact, head nods, and all that kind of stuff. You'll see how well you work together in silence. So raise your right hand. Everybody got them up. Reach across. Grab that hand of the person across from you. Raise your left hand. Grab somebody else's hand in that circle. Okay? Hey, no talking. No talking. You got to do this one in silence. We'll see how well you work together as a team. Bless you. When everybody's quiet, we'll start. When everybody's quiet, we'll start. Okay? Keep those grips. Cardinals on the sheet this time. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. No talking. Absolutely no talking. And the Buccaneers are on a roll already, I'm telling you. They've got two. Hey, that's it. The Lions win. Yeah, that counts. The Lions win and they made 2 circles.